So as Larry said, I'm Erik Qualman. Thanks for having me in here. This is great, and thanks for coming out tonight. Hopefully we can answer some of your questions. And the one thing I know for sure is that if I talk to everyone in this room, that you guys would all know something that I don't know about social media. That's how fast this stuff moves. But I got in the digital space back in '94. Actually, I was a lowly kind of intern at an agency that worked on the Cadillac account. And one of my jobs was to print out the memos and send them inter-office mails about what was said at the client meeting. So I did that, and one night, I think I had a hot date, it was a Friday night, and the copier wasn't working. So it's not that I had this epiphany that, hey, this thing's all going digital. I just go, the copier's not working, I need to get out of here, but I need to send this off. Why don't I send it as an attachment, this new thing called email? So I do that, send it off. Next thing I know, the CEO's in my cube. I've never met the CEO. And I'm thinking, oh, they're going to be happy with me. He was so upset. I was glad I didn't get fired that day. That he was that mad. But I tried to call him and explain. I go, well, it saves the environment. No one cared about the environment back then. And I said, well, it saves my time. That seemed to be the least of his worries. But then when I said it was trackable, then his eyes then he kind of stopped yelling and somewhat went away. And then 3 months later, that's when the World Wide Web sort of exploded for the masses. And so they go, we need a website for Cadillac. And he goes, I don't know what that is. All I know is I'm busy. Go talk to that kid down on the first floor. Remember, my name's Erik Qualman, so truncated an email, it's Equal Man. So then he goes, go talk to that kid that thinks he's a superhero. He seems to have an idea about what's going on. But I fell into the space backwards. I've been able to work for some great companies like Yahoo and Travelzoo, and way back in the day helped AT&T get e-commerce going, so you could take when people ordered landlines, take an order online for the phone. And so we see these shifts all the time. We always think there's something new, but history repeats itself because no one listens the first time. And we're at another monumental shift. Think back to the CEO yelling at me, how comical that is to see that someone's yelling at you for sending an attachment on email. But some of the stuff we're wrestling with today with social media, we're going to sit back and laugh about what were we thinking in terms of some of that stuff right here and now. But I've been fortunate, wrote the book Socialnomics, it's done well, which has been helpful. And I can talk a little bit today about how I actually use social media to sell books and how that would equate to a big company. I do work within a large company as well. I report to the owner of Education First. It's the world's largest education company. It's in 53 countries, 26,000 employees, spanning the gamut from au pair exchange programs to teaching English to 10 million in China. But that's been fun. So it's been a good ride, and I'm a professor right now in digital marketing as well. So I get to see what the kids are thinking today, and some of them, everyone always thinks they're technically super savvy. That's not the case. It's all on an individual level how savvy they are. It doesn't matter if you're 50 or 20. It depends on how engaged you are in the space. And so in terms of the ROI piece, my stance is more on the glib side. Sometimes it'd be a little glib to where I say, what's the ROI of your phone? And what I mean by that is that if someone called up on the phone in your small business or any type of business and they asked, you know, I bought your Santa teddy bear last Christmas and I'd like to buy it this Christmas. Are you guys still going to have them? Yes, we're still going to have them. Are you open from 9 to 5? Yes. Is your return policy still 30 days? Yes, it is. Okay, great. Hang up. If the CEO is standing there, they could say, you didn't make a sale. Let's get rid of the telephone. The phone doesn't work. It's not selling. Let's get rid of it. You didn't get the customer's name. How do you know if they came in the store, you're going to be able to track that? Did they buy something? So some of the ROI of social media is really just good business ethics, to what Larry alluded to. And so the good companies that understand that, there are pieces that are trackable. We'll talk about that today. And I produced one video that's just designed that shows here's 30 companies that have tracked the ROI. So you can do that, but that's only about 10% of what's out there. So you're doing yourself a huge disservice if that's all you're going to look at. And part of it's really just the golden rule of treat people how you'd like to be treated, and you can see that it results. And I can see that firsthand from book sales, and I can talk a little bit about that, how I use that on that side of the house.